our expectations?
The Green Dot program is a program that was designed to empower bystanders to first recognize and then address high-risk situations and really just look out for each other in the communities that we're all a part of.
It is a program that prevents not only sexual violence, but also power-based personal violence.
I think when you ask most people if they would like to do something good, the answer is going to be yes. But then it's really hard when you're there, and it's really hard to know what to do and how to act, and you get that like gut feeling because you don't really know what to do, and you're just like, I should do something.
At the most basic level, red dots are bad, green dots are good. You know, that's really all that they have to remember. And in the training we talk about other situations. So, you know, what was a time that you were influenced by peer pressure? Because in these types of situations, that a lot of times has a big part that it plays in addressing a situation or not addressing a situation.
Turns out that through learning how to help other people stay out of those situations, learning how to prevent those situations in public, with strangers, actually gave me a lot more tools to help myself.
If somebody's standing at the bottom of a river and they keep seeing people come down the river and they're continually pulling people out to keep them from drowning, at some point somebody says, well, did anyone ever think about going upriver to see why they're falling in the first place? And so for us, that's what Green Dot was doing, is let's take a step back and figure out, you know, what's going on with our students, and can we help them to identify these high-risk situations so that they can see them for what they could potentially lead into, and then they have the power and ability to intervene in those situations and prevent them from happening. Maybe they're at a bar or at a party somewhere, so just in a social setting, everybody's having a great time. Typically there's alcohol involved. Say somebody saw something get slipped in another person's drink. One of the options in doing a green dot, first they have to recognize that something might be wrong about that situation, because if they don't see it or don't recognize it for what it could be, then there's really no next step. We talk about the options being the 3 Ds, so it's easy to remember. So number 1 is direct.
The direct approach is to approach a situation that is, you know, seemingly it needs a green dot, a red dot's going to happen, someone's in trouble, something's going to happen, and that's when you forcefully yourself, you go up and you approach them. Another one is delegating, and so either getting someone else to address the situation for you that may be in a better position to do that. In a nightlife situation, that is probably the number 1 thing you can do, is if you need authoritative figures such as bouncers or police. Once they get involved, it's out of your hands, it's guaranteed safety. Just finding somebody else to address it for them, or having a friend address it with them so they didn't feel like they had to do it on their own, or it might be awkward if they just addressed it by themselves. The third one is distraction, which is always my favorite because you can come up with a million different options.
Like, you know, if I'm at a grocery store and a husband and wife are fighting and he like gets physical, I can just like throw cans everywhere, you know, like to distract it or whatever, and just break up the tension in that moment, and then it's like, oh, okay.
I really think that one of the biggest reasons why people don't do anything is because they have all those obstacles, and that's why we talk about them, is because once you know what they are, there's a lot of research that shows that next time they won't impact you as much.
I think learning how to diffuse a situation to protect someone else also teaches you how to protect yourself, and I would recommend it to anyone, just to keep themselves safe, to keep their friends safe.
And then always increasing the number of participants that we have in the training every year. That is one of the biggest goals, is getting people to that skills building workshop and really encouraging them to change their behavior just on the smallest scale to have a really large impact in their communities.
I mean, I see a lot of people with those little green pins, the little dots that say "Live It," and it makes me smile every time I see it.
That's what I love about Green Dot and the Wellness Center in general, actually, is that you're personally impacting the campus, and there's always something you can do, and it eliminates that like bad feeling when you don't do anything.
I've worked downtown for many years in different places as restaurants, even bars, and I've seen different people come in and at points where they're inebriated and they can't protect themselves. And I've seen their friends come in and swoop down and save them. Anyone can do this. No matter how shy you are, how confident you are, how built you are, whatever type of person you are, it doesn't matter. Everyone can make a difference. It takes one person to stop these red dots from happening.